Hi guys, I'm back with another video. Today's video is gonna be review of the Chucky TV series season 1. So I'd like to start off saying if you have not watched the Chucky TV series at all or entirely or seen most of it, I wouldn't watch this video because this is my review and I'm spoiling a lot of stuff. Just letting you guys know right now. Now I'm gonna get my review. So this is my review of the Chucky TV series season 1. The overall description of the show: the series takes place after events of Cult of Chucky in the city of Hackensack, New Jersey. 14-year-old Jake Wheeler buys a good guy doll at a yard sale, uses it in his contemporary art project. He later discovers the doll is possessed by the soul of a serial killer, Charles Ray, who is in this form is known as Chucky. Jake soon becomes suspicious in a series of strange events involving a doll, who unleashes a wave of shock murders around the town. Some of the boys' classmates will also seem themselves linked to these events. In addition, a series of events explore Charles' past as a seemingly normal kid who somehow became one of Hackensack's most notorious killers. Starring mostly teenagers and advertised as a coming of rage story, the series tackles themes of sexuality, bullying, domestic violence, life, and murder. The main character is Jake Wheeler, finds himself prompt to homicidal acts by the doll while struggling with his crush on a classmate, Devin, and other issues that arise from being gay in an unaccepting environment. Now we're into episode descriptions. Episode 1, Death by Misadventure. Jake Wheeler, a 14-year-old middle school student, purchases a vintage good guy doll named Chucky from a yard sale with intentions of using it in a personal contemporary art project. Jake's father, Lucas, disapproves of his hobby and, after an awkward dinner with some relatives, destroys the project. Jake takes Chucky to school the next day, hoping to sell it at a good price. He is bullied by Lexi, his cousin Junior's girlfriend. At night, Andy Barkley calls the boy and suggests caution with the doll. Upon confirming that Chucky works without batteries, Jake throws him away. Chucky ventriloquism during the show. Chucky publicly humiliates Lexi, and Jake is subsequently suspended from school during a heated argument over Jake's sexuality. Lucas hits him, and boy states that he wishes his father were dead. Chucky murders Lucas soon after. Jake is taken to live with Junior's family, and Chucky proposes the prospect of killing Lexi too. There is a flashback in this episode. In 1965, Charles Lee Ray is sitting with his mother, and they look at the mirror happily. Episode 2, Give Me Something Good to Eat. Jake returns to school after his father's death, where he's invited to Oliver's Halloween party. While everyone is out, Chucky murders the Wheeler's maid. Jake confronts Chucky, who finds innocence and tries to convince Jake he's on his side. The night Junior and Jake overhear Logan and Bree discussing if they're even capable of looking after Jake, and Junior begins to fear Jake is capable of hurting Lexi. On the night of the Halloween party, Lexi is told to take care of her sister Caroline, who has begun to fixate on Chucky since seeing him in a talent show trick-or-treating, but takes her to the party instead. Jake decides to stay home. He finds Chucky missing and races to the party in a panic. There he finds Lexi has dressed up as his father, mocking his death. Despite his rage, Jake stops Chucky from killing her. That night, Chucky once again tries to convince Jake to become a killer. There's also a flashback in this episode. In 1965, Charles Lee Ray returns home from trick-or-treating. Inspecting his candy, he finds an apple with a razor blade in it, but eats it anyway, uncaring as he cut his mouth. Episode 3, I Like to Be Hugged. Chucky persuades Jake to give in his temptation to murder Lexi, remembering his encounter with an unknown serial killer assailant in the 1960s. Jake attempts to murder Lexi during a run, only to encounter Junior, who later tells Lexi to apologize to Jake, worried about what she's capable of, because this and her little sister outburst for wanting Chucky. Lexi apologizes to Jake in hopes of having Chucky to calm down to her sister. Jake originally declines, but after Chucky decides to kill Lexi himself, Jake accepts and seemingly gives him up. Meanwhile, Logan and Bree are calling into a parent meeting alongside Lexi's parents due to transpired events. Concurrently, Lexi secretly hosts a rave party with Junior, Devin, and fellow classmates, Oliver, in attendance. Tension arises as Junior and Oliver compete for Lexi. Chucky accidentally stabs Oliver when he mistakes him for Lexi, murdering him upstairs as the rest of the partygoers are distracted by the blasting music, completely unaware of Oliver's screams. Chucky then corners Lexi in a room, causing a fire that engulfs the house as Jake visits his parents' graves. There is another flashback in this episode. In 1965, a young Charles Lee Ray helps the unknown assailant murder his parents. Okay. Episode 4, Just Let It Go. As a result of the fire, Caroline is in intensive care hospital unit. Lexi and Jake begrudgingly team up to investigate Lexi's destroyed house for Chucky. Meanwhile, Junior undergoes medical procedure, and Devin researches the urban legend about how Chucky turned into a good guy doll. At the Cross House, Jake saves Lexi from falling the railing, despite Chucky appearing attempting to convince him to let go. A police officer appears after this and takes them and Chucky to the hospital. When the two kids get there, Jake is stopped by Detective Evans, who strongly believes he's behind the murders. At the hospital, Chucky, the police officer who found him, Devin finds Lexi and tells her the truth about Chucky as Jake is being interrogated. Caroline's life support is unplugged, causing chaos in the hospital room. The police officer's body is found, and Jake, Lexi, and Devin watch as Chucky flips them off from a distance. There is another flashback in this episode. In 1972, at a foster home, boarding home, a teenage Chucky is seen living with other children, including young and future accomplice Eddie Caputo. Chucky kills the home janitor an innocent game. He scares other children when they see the janitor's body in the forest. Eventually, Chucky leaves the home and bids farewell to Caputo, leaving him and a unique present in a box in the form of a severed hand implied to be the janitor's. Episode 5, Little Little Lies. When the Cross family returns home, Lexi's dad gives Caroline a good guy doll named Tommy in replacement for the burned up Chucky. Jake, Devin, and Lexi ambush the burnt Chucky in the trash can and kick him to apparent death. Believing Chucky is dead, they move on with their lives, and Jake and Devin have their first kiss. Somewhere at a hotel in Hackensack, Tiffany and possessed Nika Pierce are seen living there with 2 male victims, one who is only dead, held hostage. The 2 get into an argument that leads to Nicola temporarily regain control of her body. She attempts to free the surviving victim until she returns under Chucky's spell and slashes his neck. Bree talks to her therapist about her stage 4 cancer diagnosis and promises to come clean to her family. Mayor Cross and Detective Evans hold a town meeting at the school showing remorse for the events transpired, including announcement new city rules. However, things quickly become disastrous when the principal Severhead rolls onto the stage, revealing her murderer, Chucky, revealed to be alive, having transferred his soul into the Tommy doll. There's another flashback. In 1980s, a young adult Charles Lee is seen dance club where he meets an exotic dancer who flirts with him. He takes both the dancer and a red-haired woman to a hotel, where the 2 women put on a show until Chucky kills the dancer, much to the joy of both them and the other woman, who is revealed to be a young Tiffany. So this next episode is going to be a little bit controversial. The title is controversial, so I'm not going to say it on my YouTube channel. I'm not going to say the title of the episode. I don't want to get in trouble, and I don't want to be called racist towards gay people, because it is a slur, so I'm not going to say it. But the episode is about after the events of Cult of Chucky, Andy and his foster sister Kyle have begun to hunt down the remaining Chucky dolls. Jake, Devin, and Lexi watch as their biology teacher, Mrs. Fairchild, is arrested and charged with the murders of Oliver and Principal McFay. With no other option, Jake and Devin are able to successfully contact Andy and Kyle. Meanwhile, Nico reverts back to original body and finds Chucky in Tiffany's presence. However, Tiffany discovers the ruse and reveals that she purchased Chucky's child home before knocking Nika out, typing her up inside the house, admitting to her she has grown to prefer her company over Chucky's. Bree comes clean about her cancer diagnosis to her family during a meeting with her therapist. Chucky pushes a cart towards Bree and throws her out the glass window to her death. Bree's therapist attributes this to depression and labels this as a suicide. Devin reveals his relationship with Jake to his mom. Shortly after, Jake, Devin, and Lexi set up a trap for Chucky, who attacks the trio and murders. Detective Evans breaks her neck when she falls down the stairs. There is another flashback in this episode. In 1987, Chucky and Tiffany purchase a car and slit the salesman's throat. While they drive, Chucky reads a voodoo book. Okay, episode 7, Twice the Grieving, Double the Loss. At Bree's wake, Junior blames Jake for everyone's death and punches him. Tiffany shows unannounced and kisses Logan. Meanwhile, Andy abandons Kyle at a gas station and heads to Hackensack on his own. Devin announces he's leaving Hackensack to live with his aunt in New Jersey following his mother's death. At a town meeting, Mayor Michelle Cross announces that the annual town screening of Frankenstein will have a celebrity guest. Chucky acquaints Junior and convinces him to kill those he believes responsible for family falling apart. Jake steals money from Logan and runs away from home. However, he changes his mind after finding a good guy doll and brings it to Lexi's house. Tiffany approaches the Wheeler household looking for Jake. She tells Junior to never mention her appearance. Jake and Lexi seek out Devin's location and realize that he broken into Chucky's childhood home. At the same time, Devin frees Nika from her restraints, but Chucky, having regained control of Nika's body, takes him hostage. Chucky convinces Junior that Logan cheated on Bree with Tiffany, causing her suicide. Junior proceeds to beat Logan to the death with a doll as Jake and Lexi prepare to head to Devin's location. The good guy doll Jake brought begins to come alive. Andy arrives at the Wheeler household as Junior and Chucky stare at him. When Devin regains consciousness, he's revealed to be surrounded by a horde of all good guy dolls. There is another flashback in this episode. In 1998, Chucky and Tiffany purchase an apartment in Chicago. Tiffany finds out that Chucky behind her back to have an argument before Chucky storms out. And the last and final episode is an affair to dismember. Scores old and new will be settled. A spark will fly as Chucky's diabolical plan comes to fruition, and particularly dangerous in public. So, you're probably wondering, why is that description shorter than everything else? Well, I wrote this at the time of the last episode, and I wanted my review to be the day after. So that's why there is not a full description for episode 8, An Affair to Dismember. I'm sorry about that, guys. There is no flashback, but there is a flashback in the episode. In the flashback in the episode is how Chucky got killed by Mike Norris, and the reason why he got killed by Mike Norris. And we find out the reason is Tiffany called Mike Norris and gave him tips about Chucky because after the argument they had in the apartment. So, what are the reviews for this series? Season 1 specifically. Well, Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 90% based on 31 critic reviews. It has an average rating of 6.9 out of 10. Metacritic gave the series a weighted average score of 70 out of 100 based on 10 critic reviews, indicating generally favorable reviews. IMDb gave it a 7.5 out of 10. Common Sense Media gave it 4 out of 5. And Google Reviews gave it a 4.6 out of 10. And the Chucky TV series has been renewed for season 2 in 2022. So what do I give season 1 of the Chucky TV series? What do I give it out of 10? I give it 8 out of 10. You're probably wondering why I'm not going over my likes in the video. Well, I already have enough information that talks about this series. If I go over all my likes, this video will be too long. And also, if I go over my likes, it will hinder my review because I give it an 8 out of 10, but if I had to put my likes with it, it would be a 10 out of 10. But I want to keep my review at 8 out of 10. I want to keep it to where the other reviewers were. So that's pretty much my that's pretty much my review of the Chucky TV series Season 1. I hope you guys like this review. I put a lot of work into this video yesterday. There will be a tier list video coming out after this. I also put a lot of work into that video yesterday. I hope you guys like these videos. I hope these videos do well. And if you guys do like this video, please like, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you guys next time. Peace, period.